They went out on the air on Monday and said they had gone to Mar-a-Lago to bend the knee. I was saying to Paul Murray on Sky News, that they didn't just bend the knee. They got down on their snake bellies and they slithered and they licked the boot. They licked it. Yes, it tastes so good. I love the bottom of your boot.
So Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski from MSNBC recently went to Mar-a-Lago and had a meeting with Donald Trump. In my opinion, it was an attempt to try to save their careers because apparently their show last weekend only received like 20,000 in the key demographic. And so basically they're failing. Comcast is looking to sell MSNBC, and I don't know if there's anybody out there that's going to be even willing to buy it. But in this one, Megyn Kelly and Andrew Klavan have a good time making fun of them. And let's just go ahead and check it out.
Sir, please give it to me more. That's really what happened. Then they come back out on the air on Monday and say like, oh, we spoke truth to power. Why wouldn't we speak to Hitler, the rapist, racist, bigoted, sexist, misogynist Hitler? That's just what we do as journalists. And then they're already circling the bowl audience left in even greater numbers. So as of Tuesday, they had shaved another tens of thousands more off their already terrible numbers. In the key demo of 25 to 54-year-olds, they were down to 78,000 viewers on Tuesday. 78,000.
Wow.
That is just 25,000 or so above what we call in the business slashies. If you get 50 grand or under, they call them slashies. They don't give you the number. A slashie is unthinkable.
Oh, my bad. I thought I read 20,000. Okay, 78,000 still.
Fox News. There is no show that ever gets a slashie. And MSNBC has been beyond the slashies now for a number of years. Hello, Joe and Mika. You're back to slashy land. So they came out the next day already experiencing the blowback because this meeting made no one happy and tried to tell us it wasn't as we felt, that actually everybody loved what they did. What they did was terrific and really well received. Here's a bit of it.
Yesterday, I saw for the first time what a massive disconnect there was between social media and the real world. Because we were flooded with phone calls from people all day, literally around the world. Very positive, very supportive, going, understand what you do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But once in a while, I would get a text or a call from someone and go, oh, man, I hope you're doing okay. And I'd call him back, and I go, well, Eddie Glaude was one of them. I go, Eddie, are you on Twitter? And he goes, I am. I go, okay, well, I'm not. So we've had a good day. All of us are going to do the best we can do, and we're all working towards a better America.
Take it day by day.
Day by day. And again, you can predict the future by shaping the future.
Okay. Twitter's not real life, you see. In real life, people loved that they went and met with President Trump. All 78,000 of them, they loved it out of an audience that should be 600,000. But those people really loved it, Andrew. Don't believe your lying eyes.
And Comcast is ready to toss the entire station out the window.
Can you blame them?
Separating themselves. They're going to sell them. Yeah, I may buy them. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure I can afford Rachel Maddow's $30 million a year salary. Well,
let me ask you something. If you actually did buy Comcast or MSNBC, because it's going to be spun off by Comcast, who would you fire first?
Well, if it's true that Rachel Maddow is making $30 million a year, I mean, I don't worry about her because she can always, make a living as a Michael Knowles lookalike. But I think that it's, I think that it's insane to pay somebody that when nobody is watching her. And
for 1 hour of television a week.
Oh, man, don't do Michael Knowles like that. It's more like a Mark Cuban. She's a Mark Cuban lookalike, or even better, Mark Cuban is a, what's her name, Mad Cow lookalike. Did I say Mad Cow? I meant Maddow.
I know. And Brian Stelter, used to make the argument when nobody was watching him. Brian Stelter used to make the argument, well, yeah, but they break out our bits and they go out on YouTube and all this stuff, and people don't watch them there as well. And I suppose that was supposed to build up to a massive audience of people not watching them. But, I think that they are useless. And the thing that they never get to, Brian Stelter had this wonderful thread on X where he said, we need to win back our audience by doing things like podcasts. We don't do enough podcasts. And I was like, stop lying. You got to stop lying. That's number one. You can do a podcast.
Yeah.
Number 5 is do a podcast, but number 1 is stop lying. And they just
lie
don't
in more
get it.
places.
They really don't. Yeah, that's right. You know, the funny thing is a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump didn't like Donald Trump, which is important. That's actually shows in his favor. That shows how bad they thought the other side was, how much they didn't believe them, how much they thought. I saw a Kamala Harris voter interviewed, and she said, well, maybe Trump will do some good things like end all the wars and bring the economy back. And I thought, yeah, that would be good. I'd be
was
in favor of
that voter,
you know?
Mika Brzezinski? Because that's how they're trying to sound like, yeah, you know, we're open-minded now to Hitler. Sure. Okay.
And
well,
Biden looks ecstatic. So he's at least somebody's really happy about the results in the Democrat Party. So.
Well, I do think it's very interesting that that Comcast chose now to announce it's going to spin off its disgusting cable channel. And it's not because NBC News is doing so well and they just want to separate the struggling MS from NBC. NBC is also doing very poorly. We have beaten NBC News on its YouTube feed for months now, just my show, just this one show has beaten all of NBC on their YouTube feed. They're in a lot of trouble over there. So they're not doing well either. So why spin off MSNBC? It's because it's the disgusting, like, wart-covered evil troll that, like, came to live with you and wouldn't leave. Like, they're looking at it like, ew, my God, what? We don't want our vaunted Today Show anchors to have to associate with those troll ogres over there who, as I point out, are on their bellies licking the boot right now. Mr. President, please let me back in the circles of power. No wonder they want to spin this thing off.
Well, you know, we on the right I keep hearing people on the right say things like, well, there's problems on both sides. But the fact is there actually aren't. You know, I mean, we haven't had enough cultural power to have the kind of problems they have. It's power that corrupts. And I'm sure if we had the kind of cultural power they have, there would be corrupt people on our side. But if I listen to your show, I get a very factual, balanced look at things. You know, you have a point of view, you have to the conservative side point of view, but you always give the facts on both sides. They never do that. They never do it. Our radicals, the radicals on the right are on the comment section on Breitbart, where the radicals on the left are in Congress and in the White House. And I think it's a big difference. You know, power corrupts, and they have become incredibly corrupt. And I still have a lot of Democrat friends. I hope I can still count them as friends, and they just don't see it. They keep saying, well, you know, there are a lot of Nazis on X. And I think, you know, some groiper in his mother's basement is posting on X and giggling away and all this stuff. But their people pour out into their campuses celebrating Hamas, you know, and the slaughter of Jewish people. It's not the same thing. It is not the same thing. And so the fact that their news stations are dying, it's well deserved. They earned it. They worked for that. That is not something they got overnight. It wasn't given to them. It wasn't handed to them. That failure has been earned by a constant stream of bias and corruption and dishonesty.
Extremely well said by Andrew Klavan there, and I had a nice laugh along with Megyn Kelly. Not only did these mainstream media news outlets deserve it, they earned it. You know, a few other things. They're out there championing, you know, fringe ideology, these things that don't matter to most of Americans. The people that are out there living paycheck to paycheck, carrying credit, paying interest to credit card companies. Meanwhile, we see these, we see MSNBC and Rachel Maddow out here championing the federal government forgiving student loans to these people that are essentially, if they follow through with their college education, they won't have to live, you know, most of them at least, essentially that's the way it's designed. They won't be living paycheck to paycheck. They won't be carrying credit card debt, but there's no forgiveness for the everyday working man, the working American's debt. There's no light at the end of the tunnel other than to work harder, try to pick up another job, try to pick up another shift. And while we're out here trying to feed our families, we don't care about you having another abortion. We don't, you know, that doesn't apply to us. We're trying to build families. We're not trying to prevent them and stuff like that. But yet they want to fund it. They want to champion, you know, legislature that provides my tax dollars go towards, you know, that type of stuff. And they won't secure the border, and they want to vilify the people that are just like, man, I just want to wave my "Don't Tread on Me" flag and not be bothered, you know. don't bother me, I won't bother you. But you can't just do that. They want to push up into your business. They want to tax every single transaction you have on your Venmo. And, they champion all that type of stuff. They loved it on mainstream media when the IRS hired 78,000 new people or whatever. And so, they basically went to bat for the wrong team. They're now on the wrong side of history. And just like Andrew Klavan said there, they earned this. And the thing is, they had plenty of opportunity. They're supposedly news outlets. They have the opportunity, the access to information, and the ability to listen to the American people, and they just chose not to do it. They chose to listen to the squeaky wheel rather than the average day, the everyday average American. And I'm here for it. I love it. And I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving where, I'm encouraging people to show up in your MAGA gear, show up in your America First gear, and challenge these leftist wokies that are going to, inevitably blame Donald Trump for something, and challenge them with facts. Challenge their lies, their disinformation with facts. If they want to leave, more mashed potatoes and gravy for you, right? So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Come visit me Wednesdays and Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. usually. Sometimes we run long, where I go live on this channel. I love to see you there. Join the Discord. The link is in the description. And other than that, catch me in the next video. You won't want to miss it. And other than that, make sure you watch the next video. You're not going to want to miss it.